Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul Channel. I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I think have inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. And I will have links below to their sites. They are Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Alon Anavar, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rav Daniel Asur, Rabbi Michael Skobag, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Asher, Rabbi Yuvan Ruvain, and Rabbi Yosef Chesney. So if you've never checked out the channel before, I will have a link below to my first video, which explains what M.L.M for the soul means, what it stands for, what I'm doing. So I'm going back to using this really nice Sefer called Lilmod U'LiLamed. I did some videos quite a long time ago, and these are all from the teachings, it says, of the sages, and it's different interpretations of the weekly parasha, weekly sedra, however you say it, the portion that we read. And this is for the upcoming parasha, Parashat Chaya, and I call this Doers of Chesed. Now, just on my own, besides what I'm going to read from here, this is by Rabbi Mordechai Katz. So I will have a link below, well, not a link, but just the title and the name in case you want to get this. It's really nice, and I've been reading it for years. It was actually belonged to my grandmother. She should rest in peace. And I kind of took it from her. And it's really, it's great. Even though I've read it so many times, I still love to reread it. So anyway, I just want to say, so from my title, I call it Doers of Chesed. So we all know that actually Sarah, that this parasha is about, she was a very big tzaddikus, a righteous woman, and Avram Avinu, her husband, her partner, and in doing all the different kinds of chesed. And it's one of the traits of people who are from Bnei Israel. So, on that note, I will just read to you what it says here, and this is talking about Rivka's chesed, and Rivka was the wife of Yitzchak, and this is talking about her before she became his wife, so a little bit background. So, it says, after Sarah's death, Avram wanted to ensure the continuation of his lineage by seeing that Yitzchak was properly married. Avram told his servant Eliezer to find a bride for Yitzchak exclusively from the members of his own family, not from the Canaanites. Why this distinction? Weren't the members of Avram's family in Aram Naharaim just as devoted idol worshippers as were the Canaanites? Or the Canaanim in Hebrew, if you want to say. Abraham, in his deep wisdom, understood that there are certain characteristics which are inherited by children from their parents. Mercy and compassion towards others can be taught only to a certain degree. It must be a part of the person inherited from his parents. On the other hand, idol worshipping is dependent upon a person's intellect, his mind. An individual can select or reject idol worshipping, and that's from the Ran. So Avram was searching for someone to become one of the future mothers of Bnei Israel, the nation for whom the identifying symbols are, like I just mentioned, one of them. The three are merciful, bashful, and doers of chesed. So that's merciful is Baishanim is bashful, Rachmanim is merciful, and Gomlei Chasadim is the doers of chesed. So surely, so going back to this, so the nation for which the identifying symbols are merciful, bashful, and doers of chesed surely needed a mother exemplifying all these traits. Avram knew that in Canaan, these traits were not to be found. In his hometown, in his family, he knew these traits were to be found and to be inherited. True, they were idol worshippers, but that is something a person such as Rivka could reject. But her inherited traits of goodness and kindness would serve as a good basis for her role as one of the founding mothers of the nation of Israel. Eliezer asked Hashem to aid him in his search for the proper bride. When Eliezer and his attendants came to the well, they asked Rivka for a drink of water. Not only did she offer to provide both him and his camels with water, but she made sure that his needs would be taken care of first so that he would not have to drink with the animals. In addition, she made sure to draw enough water so that the animals would be completely satisfied. Can you imagine how much water must have been needed to satisfy the thirst of all those camels? Yet Rivka provided all this, for she was a genuine person of chesed. It was this quality that Avram was searching for in a daughter-in-law. This was one of the qualities that made Rivka a most worthy member of Klal Yisrael's founding family. And just so you know, Rivka was like 3 years old. I don't know what that means in this day and age as far as age goes, but she was mature than, I guess a 3-year-old of today's age. But the fact that she did that, and she kept going back and forth, and don't forget camels, how much they drink. So Pretty amazing. So this quality of chesed, or the quality of chesed, and concern for others is something we should also search for in our own families. So the story of a wealthy Jew once visited the Leipniker Rav. I don't know who that is. I've never heard that name before, but anyway, and proposed a match between his son and the Rav's daughter. The rich man then noticed that the Rav looked upset. "A child in this town is dangerously ill, and I'm worried about him," explained the Rav. "But why are you so worried about a strange child?" asked the visitor. Upon hearing this, the Rav decided that his daughter should not marry into this man's family. Anyone coming from a family that shows so little concern for others could not be a desirable match for his family. So imagine that. So he asked him this very simple, basic thing, or, like the question the visitor asked, it was wealthy, but why the Rav was upset, because, that's how we are. We're supposed to be, merciful about other people, not just about ourselves, and also even about animals. That's why they say you're supposed to feed your animals first. Even though it said that Rivka gave water to Eliezer first before the animals, usually we feed the animals because, we don't want them to have any tsar, any suffering. And they need to be, taken care of, and that's, like Hashem wants us to treat everyone with kindness. And I also hope and pray that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beit HaMikdash. Amen. And thanks for watching.